quick tips for practical things to bring to your students' new college dorm, or wait and shop for them when you get there. You need to know your own kid, and you need to know what they will need and have needed up to this point, rather than let me look at all these glossy, advertisements. Save as much shopping for on-site as you can, or for later Amazon or Target or Walmart delivery order. For gifts too, like if you have a graduating senior that you're giving gifts to, local haunt gift cards. Hey, so this is going to be an episode of the I Wonder podcast that is a little bit new for us. It's kind of a mini episode, and we're going to talk today about the real practical stuff of what you might need going to college. This isn't necessarily helpful to anybody else because it's about moving out and moving on. If your child isn't going to college, or if they're living at home, this might not fully apply like the other ones have, but feel free to listen. I'll keep it quick. So the first thing I want to talk about this process of moving out and moving into a dorm or an apartment or wherever else they might go is to be realistic and to know your kid. And the reason I say that is because it is really easy to get caught up in all the glossy, fancy, internet YouTube videos. Oh my gosh, the YouTube videos and I know it's ironic, right? I'm here on YouTube talking about this, but the YouTube videos that are like dorm room, halls or dorm room tours or something else, where they have these beautifully decorated things that look like they're from an interior design magazine. It's really easy to get caught up in that. And it is equally easy to think of this as like, I'm sending them away forever, and they're going to be a totally new person in this new place. It's easy for them to feel that way too. So the reason I say be realistic and know your kid is, what do they use now? What's important to them now? What do they want to have with them there? And what do they have room for? What's provided by the school? What is their roommate bringing? Like, those are all really important things to know. I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard stories of people showing up with like quadruple of something because all 4 suite mates brought the same thing. Or, the water pitcher that they bought doesn't fit the refrigerator that comes with the room, or they have a full kitchen in their apartment, but it's completely furnished. And so they don't need to bring anything to put in there except food. There's things to know. And as much as you can find out from the university, and as much as they can find out from their roommate, which might not be anything. So just be prepared for that. They might not talk to them until the day they arrive in the dorm room. That was my experience with one of mine. Whereas the other ones were basically like best friends via Instagram before they even got there. So it's going to be different with every kid. And you need to know your own kid, and you need to know what they will need and have needed up to this point. It's not so much different. They're going to go live in a place that's not your home, but they're still living in a place, which is what they've been doing in your home all this time. So if you think about, how do I recreate what they have here in a new place, that will help you understand a little bit more what they need, rather than let me look at all these glossy, advertisements and magazines and internet, videos and go out and buy all those things. The other thing is, if you can, which might not be possible if you're sending somebody by plane or anything else, but if you can, wait on some of the stuff. They're going to need some of this right away because they have to sleep there that night. But there's a lot of like room decor and like practical stuff that if there's a local Walmart or a local Target or even an Amazon that you can ship, if you can ship Amazon stuff, a lot of what I'm about to talk about, you can wait and send them after they get there and sort of get the lay of the land. Those boxes that you put under a bed, the risers that you use for a bed, we bought those with our first one because we thought she would need them. And then the bed did it itself. And so it's things like that to know. This is a really good time too. If you have a university Facebook page, like a parent group on Facebook, this is a great time to ask these questions, because typically there'll be somebody who just did it with their child and they'll tell you what not to buy and what to buy. Or you can specifically say, in this dorm, do the beds do this? I know for my kids' school, we have Facebook groups for the parents of specific dorms, which look, I am not here to endorse Facebook groups for parents of college kids because they can get a little out of hand. But for things like this, they're kind of perfect. So if you can get on for just a minute and then get out of there, don't ever look at it again. But if you can ask questions of people who've been there before and say, hey, what about this dorm? What about this refrigerator size? Do we need these kind of sheets? All of those kind of questions. So they're really sort of imperative things that they need to go with, that besides their clothes and whatever they want to bring, their lovey from when they were a baby, that kind of stuff. My recommendation after doing this twice now is sheets and towels 2 sets of each and the grace to understand that they might not get washed except at breaks. I had one that washed her towels every week when she did her laundry, and one, I'm not sure what they did with their towels, but I know that one washed her sheets, I think, at the semester break, and then one changed their sheets at the semester break, and then I'm pretty sure they brought all the dirty sheets home at the end of the year. So the reason I say 2 sets is because hopefully you get that. In the best case scenario, you get at least 1 sheet change throughout an entire 9-month period. Worst case scenario, they sleep on the same sheets the entire year and they're a little crunchy at the end of the year. We did most of our shopping for sheets and towels. The first time we bought into one of those like dorm packages that you could get sheets and towels and a laundry bag and a comforter and all this other thing from one place for $180 or something for all of it. Partially because of that, partially because it was $180 for all of it, but partially because my daughter and her roommate picked out the quilts from that place. And so they wanted those matching quilts. And so I just got the set. The towels were pretty junky, but they made it through the year. I just don't think you're going to use them again. So then the next year, my middle one, or the next time I should say, my middle one didn't need that stuff. And so, or didn't have coordinating stuff. And so we just went to, I think, Home Goods and Target for the towels and the sheets. And then I got the sheets. And then I got some towels off Amazon. So you need towels and sheets, 2 sets if you can. You need to go, find some sort of blanket comforter. That's what I mean by know your kid, is that, one of my kids wanted the big fluffy quilt and one of my kids just wanted the same blanket they have at home. And so we didn't have to buy the whole big new set. We just bought what they have. We kind of recreated their home bedroom. So know your kid in that area when you go to buy the stuff for the room. You might also have a kind of kid that's like, I don't care, please don't ask me again. In which case, just buy what they already have, because they've been sleeping on it for 18 years, theoretically. So why not another 4 more? Check with the school at that point, because you might need extra long or you might need extra thin or whatever. So check with the school for that and see. There's plenty of people out there, and this is when you know your kid, plenty of people out there who want to do the whole dust ruffle and pillowcases and extra pillowcases and extra throw pillows and all of that stuff. And then there's some that you're going to go spend all that money and they're going to sit in a pile on the floor. So talk to your kid, know your kid before you spend all your money on that kind of stuff. Laundry pods versus laundry detergent are just easier to carry back and forth to the laundry room if they're not in their suite or in their apartment. We had never used laundry pods before, but also if your kid has never done laundry, mine have. They've been doing laundry since they were like 9. But if your kid's never done laundry, a pod is a very foolproof way of getting it in there. And they're not really eating them, so ignore all that stuff. And then a laundry bag versus a laundry basket. Again, up to your kid, but I've just been told that it's easier to drag a bag up and down the stairs than it is a basket. They might have other options or other opinions, and that's fine too. The one thing that I always tell everybody about that I ever can is these blue, we used to call them IKEA bags because that's originally where they came from. They were the blue, long rectangle zip across the top bags, almost made of like a plasticky, like recycled plastic. The only time I ever saw them was IKEA. Now they sell them on Amazon as just their own things. If you just search on Amazon blue IKEA bags, it'll show up. I can even put some in the show notes too. I'll put a link in the show notes. And they now even make them so they're big. You can fit all of their sheets and towels in one, probably. You can fit a whole bunch of winter clothes. You can fit a whole bunch of summertime clothes. You can fit a whole bag of shoes. And they fit easily in a car. If you're going in a car, if you're shipping, they'll fit easily in a box. Like if you just put everything in there and put it in a box. If you have to carry it up and down flights of stairs to get to a dorm, you can throw them over your shoulders like a backpack almost. They're great. They're great, and they're not that expensive, and we swear by them. We had a couple boxes for things that might be breakable, but everything else went in those blue bags. So that would be, if I had to give you one thing, it would be those blue bags would be the one thing I would tell you. And then again, this is part of knowing your kid too, but like a water bottle, a travel cup for coffee. If they're coffee kids, get them a Keurig with a little pod that they can use. If they're cereal, I have one that is a Cheerios every single morning kid, and so they had Cheerios in a bowl. Even though they had a dorm, I knew that, on those 8:00 classes, I knew they weren't making it to a dining hall. So they had Cheerios in a bowl in the morning that they could do. Same with my middle one. Now, I'll tell you the difference. My oldest didn't have that when she went. And about a week in, she called me and said, can you get it from Amazon? Can I go to Target? I want a bowl and cereal. And so then the middle one, I knew, okay, let's do this because I know you're a cereal person. So let me buy you one bowl, one spoon, and a couple boxes of cereal. because that also goes with my other thing, which is bulk snacks. Again, depending on how you're getting there, you don't necessarily need to move your kid in with 14 boxes of goldfish crackers, but you can send that as an Amazon package as soon as they're in. You might want to look around the room when you first move them in to see, well, where are you going to store 14 boxes of goldfish crackers? If there isn't a place, then that will sort of help inform your decision of what you send them. So as much as you can get the lay of the land before you do the shopping, that's why I suggest, if you can, save a lot of that until you get there, because they're crowded and they are often like, don't save the sheets and towels and that kind of stuff because there won't be any. But snacks, shelving, a trash can, if you forget, things like that, a fan, a box fan, things like that, they may have in those places. And if not, you can you can buy it and they'll send it to the kid, 2 days later when they restock the shelves, rather than you having to lug it and carry it. And sometimes carry it back with you because they realize there's no room or they don't actually want it. So save as much shopping for on-site as you can, or for later Amazon or Target or Walmart delivery order. So really the imperatives are those blue bags and 2 sets of sheets and towels, laundry pods versus a detergent bottle. If you can. If they hate it, then they hate it. But, things that are light and easy to carry back and forth. I always tell people for gifts too, like if you have a graduating senior that you're giving gifts to, local haunt gift cards. So if they have a Starbucks, if they have a Dunkin', again, ask the parent if you don't know the kid that well, or ask the kid if you know the kid, like, what do they love? Because if they don't like Starbucks, then you don't want to spend your money on a Starbucks gift card. If they don't have a Starbucks in their college town, you don't want to waste money on the Starbucks gift card. You may also say, here's your card, depending on how close you are to the kid. Here's your card for your graduation party. Text me when you get there and tell me your favorite restaurant. And then call and get them a gift card, or call and get them a credit or something to there. My kids have a favorite coffee shop that they love, and it's not a big chain coffee shop. So, the first time I go, I'll buy a gift card and that will be a stocking stuffer. The point is, they have these meal plans, they have ways to eat, but everybody wants some Chick-fil-A every now and then, or they want to, or everybody wants a cup of coffee from their favorite place now and then. And when money gets tight toward the end of each semester, it's nice to have somebody's gift card to give it to them. So that's all I got. Those are your quick tips for practical things to bring to your students' new college dorm, or wait and shop for them when you get there. All right. Good luck. You got this. Until next time, stay curious.